problem. Hey, friends. How you doing out there? It's almost New Year's Eve, people. Have you thought about that? Have you thought about the fact that it's another year coming? Hell, I just had a birthday. I'm 56 now. 56 years old. That's a lot of years. Considering my old man was dead at early 40s of his third heart attack. I never planned on sticking around this long, but I'm glad we are. And hope everybody's doing wonderful out there. Lovely football Sunday. We got lots of games today. It's been a while since I gave you a hot pick. But the line on the Bills-Jets in Buffalo is only 10 points. And the Jets have about as much chance of winning that game as my little league team had. We were called the Rams. I was a defensive end. Probably about 90 pounds I was back in those days. My coach, I remember I played for 2 years little leagues. My coach always said, "Son, you're a big boy, but you just don't have the killer instinct." He used to say that to me. He wanted a defensive end that was a little more nasty. I don't think I was enough to. I never had that. I was too nice of a guy, probably. But hope everybody's doing great. Man, I've been having some. I told you about those electronic drums for Leo for Christmas. I've always thought that electronic drums were a joke. You've seen them for years. You've seen all these kits, Roland makes them, and, knuckleheads with headphones playing electronic drum pads and stuff. I always thought they sounded terrible. Never wanted any. But I got to tell you, man, this shit has come a long way. This set, it's an Elise's kit. It's about $2,000, I think it was. And I don't know what model it is, but dude, you put some fucking headphones on and play this shit. It's unbelievable how good it is. Like, everyone that puts on the phones is just like, wow. Like the response of the pads and stuff and the way they feel. This shit has come a long way. It's really, more than anything, it's just really fun to play. I mean, it's a ball. I mean, I'm having everyone that sits down and plays them is just like, Dad, this is so much fun. It's really great. I'm not saying you could make you could probably use it on a record. You could probably, record with it, but it's more just for practicing and fun. But man, the sounds are incredible. And I love the way the pads feel. When you play them, they feel like real drums, and the cymbals are really responsive, and it's amazing. Technology, it's quite amazing. I busted out the old Red Bird. You guys haven't seen this in a while. Sweet old guitar. This is a really cool guitar. I think it's a 65 Firebird 1. The model numbers for the non-reverse ones don't correlate with the model numbers of the reverse ones. The Firebird 1 in non-reverse has 2 pickups and a P90, which is very strange to me. And there are 2 P90s, I mean. This is custom color. For a long time, I thought it was Cardinal Red, but it's actually Ember Red, if you look at the catalogs. But fantastic guitar. Just absolutely love this instrument. Really good one. Listen to that meatiness of that acoustic tone. I wish we had what Uncle Larry hears in the room microphones on in these videos. That'd be cool. Let me see. How'd you do yesterday on the NFL? I was 1 for 2 yesterday. I won that Chargers game, but lost the other 2. You remember that old Prince song? I think it's in B flat on the record. I'm not sure. I haven't listened to it in probably 25 years. But good riff, right? I mean, it's the same chord was Every Breath You Take, at A add 9. And then you go down, you retain a lot of the original chord, but you move to F sharp. There was a time when those types of voicings really ruled pop music. This whole add 9 thing. You were nobody if you couldn't do that shit. Men at Work records. If you couldn't get a chorus pedal and give these add 9s, you were nobody. The Beatles never did that shit. The Beatles, English pop bands didn't really explore those. They, like I talked about this, like the Beatles explored an add 9 in terms of like a melody. But you would never hear George Harrison just going. They didn't really do that much. But that came along in the 80s, and that became a very popular way of playing guitar. And the reason it works so good is because it sounds so damn good with a flanger and a chorus. I'm not going to make a long video today. Just wanted to check in real quick. I'm going to go make some bacon and hard-boiled eggs for the boys because they love that. But I had a realization yesterday about this ongoing debate that I've been in with this fella about the virtues of a real 59 burst. See, I came across I said a lot of the same things that burst haters say when I was younger. I always used to say things like, even if I was rich, I would never buy a burst. And I would say things like that. I always thought they were grossly overpriced and everything. I always thought they were really cool guitars. And I always wanted one, of course, but I always thought that even if I had the money, I would never pay for one. And, the way the one that I have came into my life was very special. I could never have afforded to just go out and buy it. A dear friend of mine helped me. He bought the guitar and he let me buy it from him on payments, and I paid it off. And I think he did it to prove a point to me. I had said in some earlier videos that in general I preferred the sound of a good SG over a good Les Paul, which I do love that shaved off low end thing that the SG does. But the guy said, "Man, what are you talking about? You've never had a real burst." And I go, I know, but I've had plenty of like 69 customs and 52 gold tops and 55 gold tops and stuff. He goes, "Dude, you've never had a real burst. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about." So he kind of let me borrow this one that I ended up with for a while. And I think he did it to prove a point, because I started he said, "Bring it to your sessions, play it, let everybody play it. You're going to see what I'm talking about." And damn if he wasn't right. The guitar just dwarfed every guitar that I own. I didn't want to like it because I didn't think I would ever be able to buy it. And Clevelanders are too proud to ever play another instrument that belongs to someone else. And, I wanted to hate this guitar, because I knew it could never be mine. But he let me borrow it for like a year, and I played it on a million sessions. And it just crushed everything I had. Every guitar that I tried to make it beat, or tried to beat it with, it just made a mockery of. And I'm like, okay, I see now. I was one of the last guys to understand how amazing those instruments are. But now I get it. And I suppose there's a lot of people out there who are in the same boat that I was in. They've never owned one. They've never played many of them, and they don't know. And I'm not saying that they all do that. Of course, just because it's old doesn't mean it's cool. That's the first rule of vintage guitars. But I'm saying of the 1,700 made, you got to admit that there's a large percentage of those that are fucking really, really cool guitars. And yeah, at this point, many of us are lucky to ever play one. You know, I've got to play quite a few of them in my life, man, because I've hang around with a lot of people that deal in that stuff. So I've had my hands on a lot of bursts, man, and I normally really like most of them. I will say, some are in various states of setup need and fret need and stuff like that. But when one's rocking, like the one that just came into Grooms a while ago with the serial number missing, I mean, that guitar is amazing. I mean, it's a special guitar. So I think that got sold, but I don't know where we're going to happen with that. But that's a fucking cool guitar. So, what I've realized, and the reason I've decided I'm going to stop arguing with people about this stuff because when I started looking at the comments on this guy's channel, it hit me. I've been innocently coming at this like it's about the guitar. I've always felt a I don't know, a calling, if you will, to stick up for old guitars because I've always been a big believer in them, and it bothers me personally when people start slandering old guitars and saying that they're not any good. So it bugs me that's I don't have to stick up for these guitars. I'm happy just playing the ones that I have, but I felt it's a duty of mine to educate younger people about how amazing these instruments are, right? Take what you want from that, right? But now I see what's really happening with these instruments. It's not about the guitar. It's not about the 59 Les Paul. It's a class war. It's a class war. I'm the last person to understand this. Duh. When you see what the people that on this guy's channel write, it's not about the guitar. It's about the haves versus the have-nots, man. It's just that simple. I came from nothing. I grew up poor. Every single thing I've ever purchased in my life, I've had to fucking work my ass off for. And I know there's a lot of you guys out there in the same boat. And I think the prices of those guitars has turned the instrument itself into an object of a class war. You'll see they don't care about the instrument being this or that anymore. It's not about that. It's about if you buy one of those guitars, you're a certain type of person. And you don't understand my life, working at so-and-so job for 50 grand a year or whatever. It's just that simple. And I get that. But I should have known that earlier. I should have realized that earlier. I was coming at it like arguing about the guitar because that's what I thought people were doing. It's not that. It's not the guitar. I think deep down inside everyone's head, no matter how pissed they are about all this stuff, they would all rather have a real one over a reissue. Let's just be honest. But I think what it entails is people view it as some sort of status symbol to own one of these instruments, and they don't like people that have them the same way they don't like somebody that has a Lamborghini or whatever. It's that now. That's what the burst has become, and it's not about the instrument having 200-year-old old growth Honduran mahogany and Brazilian rosewood and perfectly shaped necks and amazing finished binding work. It's not about that. It's about you're an asshole if you have one because you symbolize something that I'll never be, or I don't want to be. So I am officially done talking about that subject. And I'm sorry it took me so long to realize that that's what's happening there. I was actually trying to defend the actual guitar because I thought we were playing that game. But it's not that game. It's not that game at all. And, it's more about personal attacks on people's political beliefs and their financial status and this and that. I don't want to play that game. That's bullshit. fuck all that. So, there you go. I hope you guys win some bets today because I'm going to be betting my ass off. I got a good feeling about Bills -10 versus the Jets. I think it's going to be... The Bills probably don't need the game. The Jets certainly don't need the game. They've been done since week 4. But I can't imagine them trying very hard today. They're probably trying to get draft picks. The Bills at home will probably just by chance beat them by 24 just from random touchdowns. So bet that game. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.